Joining me now is Dan Yeh, CEO of CollegeNode and a technology expert. Thanks for joining us and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Well, Dan, what kind of interest are you seeing among foreign students hoping to study in China and then also Chinese students going abroad? Is it rebounding?
Oh, it's definitely rebounding both ways. For students in China, a lot of them have deferred their study abroad plan because of the uncertainties created by the lockdowns. So now the lockdown is over. I think by next year, you are going to see a huge wave of pent-up students studying abroad. And the same thing with students going into China. Chinese is one of the most popular language in high school in the United States now. And, if you learn Chinese, you want to go study in China and show off a little bit, right? And right now you couldn't do that. But I think with the opening up, more and more students will flood into China as well.
You're thinking next year. How soon, though, before we see the typical study abroad numbers resume? What are the biggest hurdles that remain right now?
Well, the schools, especially universities, function on academic calendar. So it's not like, you open up and next month students will flood in. So most likely you're going to see an increased number by this fall. And hopefully it will go back to pre-pandemic level by 2024 is my guess.
What are some of the more popular destinations for studying abroad? Is it some of the same that we've seen before, or are kids hoping to go to new and different places?
Predominantly it is still the English-speaking countries, United States by far being the most popular, and the unusual suspects, right? United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, and we're seeing a surge of interest. The numbers are going up very rapidly to New Zealand. But we're also seeing Korea and Japan being very popular as well.
You mentioned the school calendar. Would you say that schools and universities are on the same timeline as far as getting these students in? I mean, this generates a lot of money. And then also, are there still a lot of restrictions within certain institutions? Does it differ by the country?
It's definitely different by the country. So the visa restriction to Japan, for example, I think will create and discourage some of the students from studying there. But overwhelmingly, I think the universities welcome Chinese students, right? This is like the big cash cow that everybody's trying to get a piece of. And, the universities higher up on the ranking will have no shortage of, international students. But when you go a little bit lower on the ranking, you are going to see some of these universities really diving head in, trying to get as big piece of this pie as possible.